What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today it is the fourth anniversary of the podcast. So it is crazy to say that out loud, man. Like 4 years. It definitely does not feel like I have been doing this in some shape or another for 4 years. But here I am. So, along with that, I'm also going to touch on the movie. Uh, is it Mikey 17, Mickey 17, and a little bit of impressions on the Orb finale and some other stuff. But before I get into all that, as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or a watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Daddy's to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, TV shows, movies, and some video games. So it is truly crazy to think that 4 years later, I'm still here, still doing my thing. I didn't really have anything major planned for today. It was really just one of those things where end of last week I was like, oh yeah, I'm like we're middle of March. It's about that time of year again, and yeah, it's like even just me just kind of just looking back and just reflecting on things. And obviously, I don't need to go over the whole story again, but just like what this started out as, just as a outlet to what it has turned into over the years and all the people and some honestly some good friends and opportunities and everything along the way that has happened. But yeah, I truly did not expect to potentially still be doing this 4 years ago when I first sat down, turned on my microphone. Really, it wasn't even a microphone; it was just my phone. Cause back then I just had like a little what's it called? The little like speech filter circle thing, clamped to this little TV tray thing and my phone. And that's what I did for like the first several episodes of my podcast was just me recording from my phone. And now, I got my little laptop, webcam, my microphone, all that stuff. But I truly appreciate everybody that has supported me throughout this journey, whether you have been here since the very beginning or if you're somebody who just jumped on board within the last few weeks. I truly appreciate everybody. And it is kind of crazy too, just like thinking about back. Probably my first year and a half, I would say it was probably some of like the highest highs I had in my podcast, but that was simply because of the amount of time I was putting into it. Some of it unhealthy, but I was doing high volume output in like that first year or whatever, because it's kind of insane. Like it took me a while to scroll back through to the very beginning to episode 0, just because of all the stuff I was doing. And even just like episode 1 was titled Loop Hero, My Hero, and the Hero of the Hidden Leaf. And like I truly did have like so much fun, even just with these manga, with these episode titles and stuff. Like I'm an outrider and a manga buyer. Suika is Doctor Stone MVP, and One Piece 10/10 is a 10 out of 10. So I don't know. I was having a lot of fun um, coming out the gate and stuff. So, but like I said, like a lot of life has happened in these 4 years, which has kind of slowed down things in many ways. I still haven't had a guest on in probably a year, I think. And everything, and like I said, my kids and everything that they're doing, um, escalated beyond belief, in a good way. They're keeping busy, which is keeping me and my wife busy and stuff. But it also just kind of, I have learned over the years of doing this, of trying to pace myself, but also not forcing myself to do it for the sake of doing it. Because I did have like a little streak for like a month and a half or whatever. To like, okay, I got something coming out Monday and Friday, Monday podcast episode, Friday manga review. But then some life stuff happened, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do it, as I can. I'll have my spurts and my moments, just because it's one of those things where it's like I have moments where I'm like, ooh, I would like to get big and well known and all this stuff, whatever. But then I have moments to where I'm like, I also just want to be chill and low key, just because like I have seen just like people who are big names and household names and stuff, and like they can't even just go to the store or go out to eat or whatever. And it's like, do I want that level of fame and stuff? So, because it's like I already kind of deal with certain things on a micro scale, like with some of my older kids, because they do well in their respective sports and different things like that or whatever, to where it's like, even just like on a small scale, like everybody in the district and certain spots of DFW Metroplex know some of my kids and stuff. So, and so it is like a thing of like, man, like trying to strike that balance, because it's like, oh, like you want the perks of it, where it's like, oh, I want to be getting Sony sending content creators the new PS5 or the new PlayStation handheld or a copy of this new game or whatever. But then it's like the other side that comes with all that stuff that just kind of makes me be like, I don't know. I'll just do this for the sake of doing it, for the sake of having fun, and hopefully cheering up somebody, hopefully sharing some needed information to my fellow parents and fellow nerds and stuff out there. Um, and that's really all I could ask for at the end of the day. If this does continue to escalate and to go somewhere, cool. But if not, it is what it is. I've already gotten way more out of this in these 4 years than I could have ever imagined. Like I said, even the little bit of access to certain places, getting to, speak to students at UT Arlington 2 years in a row, to hosting a panel at Fan Expo Dallas, and getting access to um, DreamCon and Anime Frontier and Anime Dallas and these different conventions and stuff, whatever. Um, like, that has been pretty cool. Pretty cool to say the least. But like I said, I'm just enjoying the journey and stuff. I'm enjoying the ride, and who knows where it will take me. But I'm not gonna try to force nothing, whatever. But like I said, it is just weird just looking at the amount of time that has passed since I published that first episode on March 14th, 2021. Episode 0. Listen up. Dad needs to talk. Man. But yeah, y'all, like I said, I didn't have like too much. I didn't have like some big themed thing or whatever. Maybe that is something maybe I'll think about doing next year for the 5th anniversary. Maybe I'll try to do like a live stream or something. That might be kind of fun to try to do for like a celebratory thing. Cause actually, let me look at the dates for next year. And let me just see. March 2026. Ooh, the anniversary is gonna fall on a Saturday. Hmm. Hmm. Who knows? Maybe I'll put that out there later on and just kind of see if anybody would be interested in doing some type of like hangout stream or something. I don't know. Um, but anywho, other than that, y'all, like I said, I've really just been chilling. my kids are starting their spring break this week, so even though I don't have to get up early to get them up for school, just natural habit, my body's still gonna wake up early, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to sleep in probably most of this week. So I'll probably just get up and probably just go to work earlier, just because I ain't got to worry about dropping anybody off at school. So just hey, whenever I wake up, I'll just get up, get ready, go to work, and then hey, I can just cut out early a few days this week and just enjoy more of my evenings and stuff, chilling at home and stuff. So, because there might even be a day or two this week that I might even have fully to myself, because I think my wife and the kids and the grandma might take a little trip somewhere in the area for a couple of days or something. And so they'll go get to do something fun. I'll get a couple of days of peace and quiet. and uh and yeah, so but yeah, aside from that, like I said, everything else is chill. I got to finally go to one of my daughter's track meets this past week, which was pretty cool. Though it was it was originally supposed to start at like 3 something, didn't start till like 5:30, 5:30. So we ain't get home until close to 10 or so. So that was not fun, but she did awesome. She got second place in the 400 meter and she PR'd. And she also got her team got second place in the 4x4 uh, relay, 4x400 meter relay. So yeah, so overall they did good. My other daughter, or both of them, they had a basketball tournament this weekend as well. They went out to Frisco and they overcame adversity and they came out undefeated, um, as the champions of the tournament and stuff. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. And one of my daughters and her teammate, I think my wife said somebody from like hosting a tournament or whatever came up and talked to them and stuff, whatever. So I think they might get featured on the tournament's page or something soon. But yeah, of course I got to do my fatherly duties, show off my babies. It's one twin and the other twin. So I don't even know if my cursor even showed up. So, but the one on the far right, and then the third one from the left. So, but but y'all have seen them before. They've been on the podcast a couple episodes before as well. So, but yeah, but shout out to them and all the Spartan girls for going out there and doing their thing this weekend. So, yeah, but that is my family life this week. So aside from that, a couple of things I just want to shout out before I touch on the movies and stuff, because this is going to be a pretty short episode to be honest with y'all this week. Because like I said, they're going to the spring break. I just been in chill mode all weekend because like legit, like I didn't really do much of anything, which sometimes I feel guilty about, but it's also a thing of like I need to do this every now and then, just like have a day or weekend where I do little to nothing. And so it was really just me catching up on shows and stuff I'm gonna touch on a little bit. And then a couple of game demos that I had tried out as well that I just want to shout out really quickly. So first game I want to just shout out. So it was this game called Antro. Whoops, I'm moving the wrong things. um, they just put out a demo or whatever. And it's basically it's kind of like a running rhythm type of game almost. To where you seem to be some type of like delivery, like package delivery dude, but you're running through these levels to the beat of the music and stuff, and it's kind of like it kind of has like a, uh, like uh, Hispanic music and stuff, whatever. It was really interesting. Like I said, like really atmospheric and stuff. You just like running through these levels. Kind of reminded me a little bit of kind of like a Limbo slash Inside, but mixed with there's this game series that me and Vash love to play. It's called We Never Yield. And so, cause like you're running through the levels, you're like sliding under or jumping over hazards and stuff, But yeah. So this is one, like I said, the demo for it. I played the demo on PS5. I'm not sure what other platforms the game is on, but it has my attention. I don't think it doesn't have a firm release date yet. Yeah, doesn't have a firm release date. But yeah, so shout out to Antro. So like I said, that's one that's on my radar that I just played the demo for, and I was sad when it ended because it's a very short demo, like probably like less than 10 minutes long, but it was strong enough to where it left a impression on me. And the other game that I tried out, let me find it real quick. Okay, so this other game is called Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. This one's coming out in May, but it kind of has kind of like an old school, like a kind of almost kind of like an old school Zelda like uh look and vibe to it or whatever. But you play as this basically little mouse character that has this little yo-yo that you love, and you use it to kind of like traverse the environment to fight enemies and stuff. It was pretty cool. I think the demo for this was maybe 30-40 minutes or so, but there was also, so there was like three parts of the demo, so I only played one part because there was two other parts I hadn't tried out yet. But yeah, but it was just a lot of fun. Like I said, just really took me back to like some childhood um gameplay and environments and stuff. But I just really loved using the yo-yo to fight enemies and stuff, using it to um, solve puzzles and get items and stuff, whatever. So, but yeah, so this is another one. Like I said, the demo for this is also on PS5, and I think there's also a demo for this on Nintendo Switch. But yeah, so Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, and it's coming out in May. So shout out to that game. Um, See that I still want to do a episode dedicated talking about like just like the power of demos and being able to try games and stuff, whatever. But I'll do that some other day, whatever. So, but um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as like gaming related stuff. So side little note. So just like with I think last episode I mentioned I had finally bought that Yoshi's Woolly World game for Vash because he'd been playing the demo for many years. Another game he's been playing the demo for many years was that Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So now, granted, I probably should have gotten it a while back because it was like on sale, but I also didn't have the money to spare at the time. So I think it was maybe on sale for like $40 like a month or so ago when I didn't have any money to spare. And so yeah, so when it got towards the end of last week, whatever, I'm like, okay, it's like payday, whatever. I got my little spring bonus from work, and I was like, you know what, Vash has been doing super good in school. He's been just having fun, just being a freaking kid. And so I was talking to him, and he was still playing that demo or whatever. And then hey, you want the Kirby game? He was like, yeah. So I bought it, and he's been having fun playing it. I've been playing some co-op with him here and there and stuff on it. But sometimes it's like, hey, when I got a little bit extra change to spare, get the kids a little treat, and stuff. So he been loving that, which makes me happy and stuff. He was having fun also watching me play the demo for those other two games I mentioned earlier, whatever. But yeah, so just shout out to some chill family time, bonding, gaming, and everything above. So, all right. So moving on from there, let's dive into some shows and stuff that I've been watching. So I'm gonna just shout this out. I'm not gonna talk too much on it because I'm still watching it, but I finally circled back to Invincible. So I know season three just ended, but I had actually never watched season two when that came out in freaking 2 years ago in 2023. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood for it. So I was juggling watching that as well as finishing up Orb on the movements of the Earth, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But yeah, so I finished all of season 2 of it. Really enjoyed it. Now I did read Compendium 1 years ago, like after season 1 of the show came out many years ago. I had bought a digital copy of the Compendium, though I would low key like to have the physicals at some point in time, but they cost a lot and they are freaking humongous. Like, uh, it's crazy to describe, but basically, I think if I remember correctly, all of season 1 and season 2, and maybe even a little bit going into season 3, but I know for sure all of season 1 and season 2 were from Compendium 1. But yeah, so that has just been fun and cool. Um, Catching up with that show, whatever. Like I said, I'm on season 3 now, and so now I'm really seeing fully new stuff. Even though I know that there are some differences from what's in the show to what's in the comic book, but even still, the bit I did read or whatever, I'm now seeing new stuff beyond that. So shout out to that. Aside from that, what else? I went back and I started watching season 5 of Danmachi, aka Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon anime. Season 5 has been freaking incredible. It started off a little like, I don't know what's going on. It's kind of, cute. Oh, they're going on a little date, him and this one character or whatever. But then, like, when the curtain gets pulled back and you kind of start to see like what's really happening or whatever, it was insane, but in the best way. So I think I know it's finished airing, but I've been watching it dubbed, which I think I've watched the whole series in dub so far. And so they haven't dubbed the final 3 episodes yet. So even though I could watch them sub, I'm like, you know what? I can pause on it and then in a couple weeks circle back and finish it up. But yeah, so shout out to that show. Um, I'm trying to think what else I had caught up on. I think that's it as far as stuff I had caught up on, shows and stuff wise. So I guess I'm going to start with this then. Okay, so orb on the movements of the earth. So I have completed it and I really enjoyed it from top to bottom. So this is one where I read the first omnibus of the manga. How long ago was that? Let me check real quick. Okay, so apparently it was December 2023. So over a year and a half, year and some change ago that I read the first book of it. Really enjoyed it. Like, I talked about it back then, but like the art and everything, it was really well done. And I just really liked the story of it. So I guess let me back up and just say what this is. So just reading the synopsis off the back of it. Change minds, change history, move the earth itself. In 15th century Europe, heretics are burned at the stake. Rafal, a brilliant young man, is expected to enter university at an early age and study the era's most important field, theology. But Rafal values reason above all else, which leads him both to the shocking conclusion that the earth orbits the sun and into the hands of the Inquisition. So, this is a series that spans time. And what I mean by that is I not necessarily that I like it, but I like how there is connective tissue to where even though time passes and the main characters that we follow transitions and change, but there is always something or someone that bridges the gap in time. And so I love how it might be, somebody like Rafal met somebody or he left his notes and things behind that somebody else stumbles across, and then they get curious, and then so on and so forth, and that continues to pass on downward. And I love how at the very end, this all came full circle with the final person that we followed for the last couple of episodes. And I'll just say there will be mild spoilers in here potentially, but the last person that we follow, we learned that that years ago, over 20 years ago, Rafal was his mentor. Now, I would have to go back and recheck and re-look, but I can't remember if we had saw the kid um early on in the story. I wouldn't be surprised if we probably did, but I just forgot because, like I said, between me reading this part a long time ago and then me not watching it week to week, like there was a gap of time between when I started it, which I feel like this show also is best consumed in a binge and not week to week. 'Cause that's why I watched like the first few episodes just to see how it matched up with the manga, and saw okay, it was pretty much one for one with the manga. So I let it build up for a while, watched up until like episode like 16, 17, which happened to be a good breaking point. And then yesterday, when I knew that the finale came out yesterday, I watched from there up until the end over the course of the last couple of days. So, but yeah, so the final character, he ended up being a student of Rafal way back in the beginning. Because at first it's like, okay, who is this random dude? It seems like there's no connective tissue, but then just like everybody else, you discover something that connects. But yeah, all in all, though, like I said, this isn't going to be a show or a series that will appeal to everybody. But if you like historical dramas, stuff that touch on like philosophy and science, religion, all that stuff, whatever, then this is definitely one that is worth checking out. Um, Madhouse did a fantastic job adapting this, and I feel like they are on a awesome streak. So before this, they had adapted Freerin Beyond Journey's End, and we know how well Freerin turned out. And then, which was 24, no, that was like 28 episodes. Um, and then they did 25 episodes of Orb, and then Freerin season 2 is coming out in January of next year. So yeah, so shout out to Madhouse, man, for doing their thing. And any other projects, I hope that they get some other hidden gems of mine. Hey, I would love if they get like a Magus of the Library or something crazy like that to adapt. But yeah, so shout out to Madhouse for adapting Orb. And like I said, I really enjoy this show from beginning to end. Like, yeah, it does have some slow moments, but this is, like I said, just a show that is more thought provoking than gonna be about action and throwing hands and all that other stuff. So, but yeah. So shout out to Orb, and like I said, this is one that I recommend both the anime or also reading it. So both of them well worth your time. Um, yeah. So aside from Orb, the other thing that I checked out this week, let me see. Okay, so Mickey 17. So I'll just say off the top of my head, I had fun with this movie. And this is another example for myself of judging something for myself. Just because it was like seeing online on social media, I was seeing so many mixed things and people being like, no, blah, blah, blah. And so I was almost like, man, like, okay, should I just, go and check out something else, put my time into something else, whatever. But then I was like, no. Regardless of how it might turn out, it's like, hey, I want to go in and judge for myself. And one of the things that I've talked about plenty of times before is, for one, not watching a bunch of pre-existing material, like a bunch of trailers. I think I might have saw like part of a trailer a long time ago, because I just watched like a one of the recent trailers or whatever just a while ago to double check something, and it showed a lot, talked about a lot or whatever, and a lot of stuff in that trailer I had no clue about. The only thing I knew about this show or this movie was that it was about a guy who got cloned, and basically, I guess like different things kept happening to him or whatever, and that, you know, he would be reborn or regenerated or something or whatever the next day. I had no other context for it aside from that little bit. And I'm glad I went into the movie not knowing any more than that. So, Mickey 17 pretty much takes place in like a distant future to where, I guess like parts of the earth isn't looking so good or whatever. And this main character, him and his best friend, I don't know if I'll say best friend, but him and one of his friends end up getting into some trouble and end up having to deal with some big name loan sharks. So they decide to escape Earth and to join one of these colony ships, which are hiring people, whatever, trying to find uh, new inhabitable planets, blah 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 blah. A lot of the typical stuff. Well, Mickey, being a little bit of a dunce, not caring too much, whatever, just trying to get off the planet, he ends up signing up for a program to be I think it's called Expendable. And so, and so when he signs up for this, whatever, he just fills out the application and turns it in, because basically it's like hundreds of people in these lines filling out applications for various jobs to try to get onto one of these colony ships, whatever. And so when he turns in this paper to the lady at the desk, she's like, "You filled out this application, so you read everything, all the description, everything." And he's like, "Yeah." "No, not really." He's like, "Okay." So she calls. So she like, "Hold on, give me a second." So she calls on the supervisor. Person comes in and is like, "Hey, you sure you want to do this? You know what you're getting?" He's like, "Oh yeah." So anywho, it ends up being that this is a program where, as the name suggests, you are expendable. So basically, the people over this colony ship, they would use you for different experiments and test trials and different things like that. To where it's like, oh hey, if there is a new planet and we're trying to see if it's inhabitable, hey, you're going to be the first person to go on the planet, and you're going to take off your helmet and all this stuff, whatever. Because, like, prime example, they get to a planet, he can breathe the air, but oh, there's like toxins or something in the air, so he ends up dying. Well, they keep reprinting him, sending him out or whatever with this in this toxic air or whatever, to where they can get samples from his dead body and all this stuff, whatever. And they ended up creating a vaccine to where people can now walk on the planet without fear of the toxins, different little things like that. And so basically, that is kind of like the first half of the movie. And the second half is basically, it seems like he dies. So where the name Mickey 17 comes in is because he is the 17th clone or uh, rebirth of the person or whatever. Well, the 17th, or Mickey 17, got trapped in this ice cavern with these unknown creatures or whatever. And so his buddy thinks, oh, well, you're down there. Our rope can't even reach you. You're pretty messed up. And there's some creatures down there. They're just going to eat you. So, hey, I'll just see you tomorrow when they reprint your body or whatever. So, kind of find out he doesn't get eaten or whatever. And the creatures are actually friendly, bring him back to the surface. But by the time he makes his way back to the base, it's the next day. A lot of time has passed. And so they've already printed the new him, Mickey 18. And so that's kind of where the second half of the movie kicks off from there, is these two butting heads and stuff, uh, you know, with differing attitudes and personalities and everything like that. Overall though, like I said, it was a fun movie. One that it definitely touches on a lot of kind of like the like corporate culture where they literally this is like the literal representation of they don't care about you, they'll replace you the next day type of energy because yeah, real talk is like whatever, hey, you go out, you do all this stuff, whatever, helping us progress and all this stuff, whatever, and so what if you get hurt? Hey, we're literally just gonna replace you with in this case a literal another you. But yeah, so that there are those themes of like corporate greed and different things like that. But through it all, though, it was still a fun movie to watch and just a fun experience. And I will say, shout out his uh to his girlfriend. They never got married, but his girlfriend Nasha, who was the ultimate ride or die for him in this movie because no matter what all he went through, she was there to pick him up and to support him every time he came back. And there was even some times where he was being basically tortured or whatever with these different gases and different stuff. But and she would even get in the test tube thing with him where they just hold him while he is suffering or whatever. But shout out to her, like she, like I said, was the ultimate ride or die for this dude from the time when they first locked eyes in the cafeteria and they became friends and then just went from there and they were just a support system for each other and stuff. So but yeah, shout out to her. Cause I was like she looked familiar, so I don't know if I've seen too many of the things that she was in. Let me see, cause her real name is Naomi Aki, and let me see. Sorry, baby. Blink twice. Some Lego Star Wars stuff. Master of None. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. She was in Star Wars episode. What was this? 9. Rise of Skywalker. Okay, so yeah. She's been in some things, but this was kind of one of the first ones that I remember her like very prominent front and center that I have watched recently. But yeah, so shout out to her, and like I said, shout out to this movie, and this kind of like I said, just kind of just reaffirms my reasoning of just giving stuff a try, and that's definitely what I'm gonna continue doing, especially now that I got this Fandango membership thing or whatever. So I'm gonna definitely be just kind of scrolling through, checking out some stuff, and just being like, you know what, just picking a movie and just going and watching it because there's a couple other ones that are on my radar. I kind of want to check out. I kind of want to check out that Black Bag movie with Michael Fassbender and I think it's Charlize Theron. I think is that who? Do 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 do. Let me see info. Kate Blanchett. Sorry, Kate Blanchett. That's who it is. But yeah, so I kind of want to see that movie, and then I also kind of want to see Magazine Dreams with shoot, I am blanking on the dude name. Jonathan Majors. Good lord, I can't remember the dude name. Jonathan Majors. That's coming out soon. There's this other movie called The Assessment that looks like it might be intriguing a bit. Um, but yeah, so we'll kind of see what other movies and stuff I kind of uh, give a chance to watching. But yeah, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I didn't really get into too much to talk about. But yeah, like I said, just all in all, happy to still be here doing this 4 years later. Um, and I hope that those of you out there have enjoyed some piece of what I do along the way. Whether you're here for just everything across the board, or if you're specifically here for the fatherhood and family parenting stuff, or if you're just here for the manga reviews, whatever the case may be, I appreciate you listening, watching, supporting, and everything in between along the way as I continue to find my way in all the stuff that I'm doing. Uh, but yeah, so I think I'm gonna end it there. Nice little 40 minutes. Um, and we're gonna wrap it up. So I don't know why my screen has been going black lately. So hopefully y'all still saw me or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. So as always, thank you so much for watching. You can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. And as I always say, treat yourself to something nice. Read some manga, watch some anime, TV shows, and movies, play some video games, and of course, live your best life. And with that, I am out. Ooh, me looking at this Josuke shirt I got on. Sorry, tangent before I fully end. I still need to go back and finish JoJo's Part 6. I never finished that years ago. So I need to go and do that or whatever. So, but aside from that, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.